Have you ever considered that right in your own kitchen, there might be something you use every day, thinking it is completely fine? Something that day by day quietly affects two of the most hard-working parts of your body. I have spent many years observing how certain habits influence our vitality, and I have seen how these hidden factors can slowly diminish the quality of life as we get older. Today, I want to speak with you openly and clearly. I want to share some observations about what might be clouding your internal harmony without you even noticing it. It is very likely that you have already encountered one of these things this morning. I invite you to stay with me to understand how these elements work, and more importantly, how you can protect your natural balance before the signals from your body become too loud. Welcome. I truly appreciate you spending these minutes on the most valuable thing we have, which is our well-being. My goal is not just to share information, but to help us stay vibrant and active for as long as possible. One of the most difficult things to see is when wonderful people, full of wisdom and life experience, face challenges that could have been managed much earlier. Our internal filters are like the unsung heroes of the body. Imagine the most sophisticated water purification system in the world, working every single hour without a break. That is what your internal systems do. They filter everything and manage what stays and what goes. They help maintain your internal pressure and support the strength of your foundation. They are the base upon which everything else functions. But what happens when the system begins to slow down? Often there is no loud alarm. There is no sharp pain to warn you. These changes can be very quiet and settle in over many years. By the time someone notices constant fatigue or other clear signals, the situation might already require serious attention. I have talked to so many people who felt confused and asked how they could have missed it. The truth is that often no one explains simply enough how everyday habits can impact our long-term health. That is why we are here today, because knowledge is the best tool we have. I want to share this perspective with you so you can make informed choices. We are going to look at several of these hidden factors, starting from the most common to the one that I consider the most significant. Before we look at the list, it is important to understand why, as the years go by, we become a bit more sensitive. Time naturally changes the rules of the game. Just as our hair changes color, our internal systems also mature. Their capacity to process everything decreases slightly with each passing decade. Think of it like a vintage car engine. It is still capable and beautiful, but it requires more careful maintenance than a brand new one. Now imagine if instead of high-quality care, we give that engine poor fuel and force it to work at maximum capacity every single day. It would naturally start to struggle much sooner. This is exactly what happens when we expose ourselves to things that seemed harmless in our youth, but leave small marks over time. These small marks add up. In our 50s and 60s, it becomes even more important to be mindful, because factors like high internal pressure or sugar imbalances can start to act like constant pressure on our delicate internal structures. Today, we will give these factors a name so you can recognize them. Let us start with number 4, which is something we do not eat or drink, but it is just as impactful. I am talking about a sedentary lifestyle, or the lack of movement. You might wonder what simply sitting has to do with your internal filters. The answer is everything. Your body depends on a steady and healthy flow of energy and circulation to do its job. Imagine a clear mountain stream. The water moves strongly and stays fresh. Now think of a pond where the water does not move. Things begin to settle, and the water loses its clarity. Your circulatory system is like that stream. When you move and when you walk, your heart works more efficiently, and blood circulates vigorously through every part of you. This movement gives your internal systems the power they need to keep you clean and balanced. When we spend too many hours sitting, everything slows down. The flow becomes sluggish. This is often the starting point for other challenges, like weight gain or imbalances in how we process energy. When the body stays still, it does not use fuel properly, which can lead to further complications. But there is a very simple solution. You do not need to become an athlete. The key is simply to break up long periods of sitting. I recommend setting a small reminder to stand up every hour, walk around your living room, go get a glass of water, stretch a little. That simple act reactivates your circulation. A daily walk, even for just 15 minutes, is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. It is wonderful for the heart. It helps manage your internal balance and it keeps your energy moving. Remember the stream analogy. Every step you take is a wave of fresh energy for your body. Moving on to number 3, which is often hidden in plain sight in our home cabinets. I am talking about those little pills many people take without a second thought for a minor ache or some joint discomfort. Many of these are available without any special guidance, and people assume that means they are completely harmless. However, while they can be helpful for a moment, their frequent or long-term use can be very taxing on your internal filters, especially for those of us over 50. To put it simply, your system needs certain natural elements to keep the blood pathways open and healthy. Some of these common pills work by blocking those very elements. They do not distinguish between the pain in your knee and the protection your internal organs need. The result is that the pathways can narrow and the flow of vital resources is reduced. It is like putting a small kink in a garden hose. The water still flows, but not enough to nourish the plants properly. Over time, this can lead to subtle but lasting changes. My advice is to respect your body's signals. If you have persistent discomfort, it is much better to find the root cause rather than just silencing the signal with a pill. There are often gentler alternatives, like physical therapy or specific stretches, that can reduce the need for constant reliance on these substances. Now let us look at number 2, which is perhaps the most underestimated factor of all. It is present in almost every kitchen. I am talking about hidden sodium. Many people tell me that they rarely use the salt shaker, but that is only a small part of the story. The real challenge is the massive amount of sodium hidden in processed foods. It is in the bread we buy, the deli meats, the canned soups, and even in things that do not taste salty at all. It is used to make products last longer on the shelf, but it can be an invisible burden on our systems. When we have too much sodium, our bodies try to balance it by holding on to extra fluid. This increases the volume of blood in your vessels and can cause your internal pressure to rise. Think of trying to clean a delicate fabric with a high-pressure hose. Over time, that pressure can damage the fine structures inside you. The solution is to become a bit of a detective. It is not about eating food that has no flavor. It is about eating with awareness. I recommend looking at the labels on the packages you buy. You might be surprised at the numbers you see. A great strategy is to cook more at home, where you have total control. Nature has provided us with an incredible variety of herbs and spices that can make any meal delicious without relying on sodium. Garlic, onion, black pepper, rosemary, and lemon can transform your cooking. In just a few weeks, your sense of taste will actually sharpen, and you will begin to enjoy the real, natural flavors of your food. It is a very liberating feeling. Finally, we reach what I consider the most significant factor of all. We have discussed movement, we have discussed certain pills and hidden sodium. But now, I want to talk about the duo that I believe causes the most widespread impact on our vitality. I am talking about added sugars and highly processed white flours. We often associate these with comfort or rewards, but in my experience, this combination is the primary reason many people face internal challenges as they age. Why is this so important? Because these substances do not just affect one area. They create a chain reaction. When we consume these refined items, they cause a rapid spike in our internal energy levels. The body has to work overtime to manage this. If this happens every day, our systems can become less responsive, and sugar stays in the places it shouldn't. This can lead to a process where the internal filters essentially become less flexible and less efficient. Furthermore, we now know that high sugar intake is just as responsible for high internal pressure as sodium is. It also contributes to a general state of tension within the body that can affect all of your vessels. The good news is that you can regain your harmony. The key is knowledge. Start by recognizing that sugar has many different names on a label. Try to reduce the most obvious sources, like sweetened drinks or processed snacks. Replacing white bread and pasta with whole grains like oats or brown rice can make a huge difference because the fiber helps slow everything down. When you focus on real whole foods like vegetables, fruits, and natural proteins, the reliance on these refined items often disappears naturally. We have covered a lot of ground today. We looked at how movement keeps our internal stream flowing. We discussed being careful with common pills and how hidden sodium can increase internal pressure. And we explored why refined sugars and flours are such a significant factor for our long-term vitality. I know this might feel like a lot to take in, but my goal is to empower you. The truth is that even if it requires some changes, having this information allows you to make better choices for your future. Your path is in your hands. You decide when to get up and move. You decide to read that label or choose a more natural option for your dinner. It is not about changing everything in one day. It is about taking one small step today and another tomorrow. Every small adjustment is a victory for your health. You have the power to write a wonderful story for your golden years. If this conversation has given you something to think about, I encourage you to share these thoughts with someone you care about. When we share knowledge, we help everyone live a better life. I would love to hear from you as well. Please feel free to share what part of our talk resonated with you the most. Is there one small change you feel ready to make? I look forward to our next conversation, where we will continue to explore how to stay vibrant and strong. Take care of your inner harmony and take care of your life. I will see you in the next video. YouTube description. In this video, I want to share some personal observations about the hidden habits that might be quietly affecting your vitality as you get older. We often focus on the obvious things, but sometimes it is the small daily choices in our kitchen or our daily routine that make the most significant difference to our internal balance. We will discuss 4 common hidden enemies that can put unnecessary pressure on your body's natural filtration system. From the way we move to the hidden ingredients in our favorite foods, I'll explain how you can make simple, gentle adjustments to support your health and maintain your energy for years to come. This isn't about complicated medical advice. It's about wisdom, awareness, and taking back control of your well-being. Whether it's rethinking a common habit or discovering the power of real food, these insights are designed to help you navigate your 50s, 60s, and beyond with confidence. What you will learn: why movement is like a fresh stream for your internal systems, the truth about common over-the-counter habits, how to become a label detective to manage internal pressure, why the duo of sugar and refined flour is the most important thing to watch. If you find this helpful, please consider sharing this video with a friend or a loved one. Let's support each other in living a vibrant and healthy life.